Welcome back to Tibra's Den, everyone. My name is Whitney, and welcome to today's speed build. Today we are creating the home for my Hallmark couple. If you haven't already seen Monday's video, definitely check it out. I will leave it linked in the description below as well as at the end of this video, but that way you guys kind of have an idea of the characters I am working with. I definitely went heavily on the feminine side for this build. It's definitely something I could see maybe this was the female Sim's home originally, and then he kind of moved in after they fell in love and got married and all of that. And I really built this with her in mind, not so much him, and so that's going to come across very clearly as we go through this build. It is very feminine. It is very heavy on the pink. I don't know why I got such pink vibes from her, but I did. And so it is very heavy on the pink side and feminine side. And yeah, we're definitely going to have to renovate it a little bit down the line just to add a little bit of space for him, especially since he did move to the small town and everything. He's gonna need like his little own office and things like that, so it's gonna be need to be renovated at some point, but that will be down the line, probably after I finish the bulk of the save file. I might go through and start renovating builds and just fixing what I don't like or things I forgot, and and making it more friendly for the Sims I put in there. So like I said, this build is very much her build, and it just will need to have touches for him down the line. But right now I was building it with her in mind, and I didn't really want to go too heavy on him. The only reason I actually have them married and already living together is because with me doing the save file, I really didn't want to spend a lot of time, playing them and going through their backstory to build it up. And so that's the reason why they're already married and everything and living together. But this build, like I said, is very much hers, which you guys will see, and you can already see it's very pink. I did put them down in Willow Creek. I put them down in the same neighborhood as the Spinster sisters. You can see their house right there. And of course, the suburban housewife is across the street, kind of catty corner to these guys. And when I was playing and play testing everything, I definitely saw I made the right choice because all the Sims fit together really, really well. Even the Spinster sisters, they're kind of outcast and don't really fit in, but they fit in really well as well. And I think that's just, they grew up here as young kids and such, and so they still have that kind of aesthetic and they still kind of fit in, even though they're a little bit of outcasts since they are, witches and magical. But yeah, this is the cute little home. I do like it. It's not really to my taste, but there's a certain charm to it, I would say. And even though, it's definitely very, very pink and cutesy, I do like it, and I think it turned out fairly well. I didn't go too heavy in like landscaping or clutter. I wanted to keep it pretty simple, which you guys will see, and so there's not a whole lot going on as far as like little details or anything like that, but overall it fits what I was going for, and so I'm pretty happy with it. And so I just put those little bushes out front and then simple hedges along the side there. I was going to go along the back as well. I ended up removing those and just have more space for the backyard, and I couldn't get it quite right along the corner there either, and so I just went along the side. And then in the front here, I'm going to put little like flower gardens in the front, which you'll see. So I border them with some rocks and then just put some flowers down, and of course a little path leading into the back yard, which is pretty simple but definitely cozy and plenty of room for entertainment. And so you can see now I'm just putting down the little rocks for the flower garden. Nothing too crazy, just a little bit tedious, I would say. And then I put these pretty bushes. I think they went well with the ones in front of the house, and then just some filler flowers to go underneath there, which I did yellow because I think it was a good contrast to the pink, which there's a lot of pink in this build, so I apologize for that as well. And now just a little fence, just pretty simple, pretty basic. And like I said, I wanted a smaller yard, but I realized the hedges weren't going to work, and so I made the yard a little bit bigger. And then, just finding simple gate and everything. Nothing too fancy. Very simple and cute. That's what I was going for, and hopefully I achieved it. And yeah, so now the mailbox. I love this mailbox. This is one of my favorite mailboxes to use, and it went well with the flowers. It matches the little flowers in the front, so I thought that was pretty nice. I don't really like what I did with the front porch. I might go in and change that. Originally I wanted to have like a little chair where she could sit and look out, but then I also wanted flowers, and nothing was fitting very well. I didn't like the way it was looking, and so I ended up totally scrapping the chair, and I put these flowers here, and I don't know, it's a little cramped and it's not as cute as what I was going for. I do like these flowers on the left side there. I think those are cute, and I definitely will keep those. And I might extend the porch out a little bit just so there's a little bit more room, and then maybe put a couple of rocking chairs. I don't know. Even though it's fine to have like a single rocking chair, I wasn't liking it. And so I don't know. I'll probably go in and change it like I said. But we'll see. We'll see what happens, or I might wait till I renovate it, and that might be one of the renovations. And so just working out here, I wanted a grill and then a little outdoor dining area where she can maybe entertain, or they can now that they're married. And then of course a little fireplace. I love this fire table. It is one of my favorites to use. I like using it over like the little fire pits. I wish they had like more realistic fire pits, because those ones work for like the ones I'm thinking of kind of work for very outdoorsy areas, but kind of a backyard fire pit, they really don't work, and there's only just the one option for the table. So I really wish there was more options for that, but I use this table all the time in the outdoors. So and then of course, since she's an artist, I wanted to put an easel out here as well. She probably enjoys coming out and painting outdoors whenever she can. And now we are on to the inside. This was an accident, but I layered two fireplaces together, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So I'm probably going to do that in the future, because a lot of times I want that brick above the fireplace, but you only have like the one main option for that. And so I'm probably going to do that in the future, even though I didn't mean to. I was just seeing which fireplace I wanted, and when I layered it, I was like, ooh, I like that. So that's what I went with. But that's the little living room area. And then right behind there is going to be the dining room. Kitchen's a little bit awkward. It's more like a galley style kitchen. But I knew I wanted that front area there to be like a little breakfast nook. And so I kind of went with it. And you can see here I'm going very heavy on the pink wallpaper. Very heavy on the pink wallpaper. But I don't know. That's just kind of what I got from her. And so I went with it. That's what I went with. And it is a little tight in here for a living room, but it's functional. Let's just put it that way. It's not necessarily, like I said, to my taste, but it definitely is functional, and I do like it. The only thing I don't like is her painting room. I wasn't able to put big windows in there just because of the layout. And so that was a little bit frustrating, because of course if you're painting, you're going to want to have a lot of light. But the other room worked better for a master with its own ensuite bathroom. So I don't know, like I said, it is what it is, and maybe when I renovate, I'll be able to make like a little artist studio as well. Maybe they can have like an artist studio and office combination. We'll have to see down the line. So definitely please leave any tips or tricks you have for this build, or any ideas you might have for renovating it and making it a little bit more guy friendly, leave those in the comments below, because I'll definitely reference this video when I go to renovate it, and so that will be super helpful no matter when you watch this, if you're watching it when it first comes out or months or years down the line. Leave some comments because that will definitely help me, like I said, when I do go back to renovate this build a little bit. I definitely could use some ideas. So, but you can see now I'm working on the living room, and it's just kind of an awkward space. I probably should have, now looking at it back, put the TV above the fireplace, and I could have done more that way. It would have worked better that way than how I was trying to do it. But this is what was calling to me at the time, and so that's how I did it. It's always funny watching these back because it's like, oh, I could have done that. When you're in game, you can't always see that. And so it's really been interesting editing videos and watching my builds back. I'm definitely learning a lot doing this, which was the whole point of starting this channel anyway. So hopefully I'm getting better, but it's definitely interesting to see the process and then look and watch and see things I could have done better. And I definitely think it does help me when I go on to the next build. Be like, oh, well, when I did this build, that didn't work so well, or things like that. So hopefully I'm getting better, but either way, I do like this build, and it was kind of awkward, so it was a bit of a challenge too. But I did want to do something a little different, and I had like a vision in mind of what I wanted to do. So that's what I went with, and I do like the kitchen. It's very different from any of the other kitchens I've done, but I do really like it. And I love the little espresso. I think that's, again, another touch that maybe he brought in with him, because I don't see her being like a big espresso drinker, but I definitely see that of him, kind of keep his energy up and going. And then the little cookies next to it, that was like, oh, that's her, And so even though this is very heavily centered on her, I did want to add little touches here and there. So like the grill, that would be something he maybe brought in and had done, and the espresso maker, again, something for him. Just little touches that are more him than her when it's so heavily centered on her. And then, of course, since she's an artist, I wanted the spare room to be like her little art studio. And so she has the painting she's already done, and then, a bunch of blank canvases. And then I actually put 2 easels in here. I thought, I don't know why, but maybe she would work on multiple projects at once sometimes, and just kind of wherever the inspiration took her, and so she might like to have 2 easels. I had a hard time. I know there's the little cart with all the painting stuff. I had the hardest time finding that. I couldn't remember where it was, and I tried to pull it up, but it wasn't showing. And so I put the little nifty knitting cart in there, which I think it works, and I did keep it. I did eventually find the painter's cart, but it was a struggle and a half. I could not remember. It didn't make really sense where it was or what it was called or anything like that, so I couldn't even search it up or anything like that. But I do keep the little nifty knitter cart in there as well. I think it works for a painting studio, and then just a little chair, so she might get tired and sit down and kind of look at her paintings, try to think, get some inspiration or anything like that. And then, of course, the second bathroom here, pretty simple. I don't really like the towels I used, but I didn't want the plain towels either, so I might change those up a little later as well. And then, of course, you have your soap and your toothbrush. Always have to add that. And then I just put a little painting on the wall. And then this is the main bathroom, the ensuite. And I love this custom content shower. Like, it's one of my favorites to use. It's a little difficult because you have to be strategic in placing it, but I do really like it. And so just pretty simple toilet, and then I figured a double sink would definitely be a selling point, even though when she bought this place she was single. I could see her, maybe thinking ahead and really liking that, and it's definitely worth it now that he's moved in. So, and now we're gonna work on the bedroom. Again, struggled a little bit. I knew that I wanted the bed over here, and it worked nicely there. Like, it definitely worked nicely there. But then what I was left with was a little awkward because I knew I wanted a dresser and a desk. And so I didn't really have a lot of room for that. And so it was just kind of like a little bit of awkward space. And I wanted a bookshelf as well, which I guess I could have put a bookshelf downstairs, but it was a little bit frustrating. And so I ended up putting the dresser over there and then the desk right here. And then, of course, a bookshelf on the wall, because none of the standing bookshelves would have worked, I don't think. So I don't know. It's a little tight, and if it was real life, I definitely don't think this would be as comfortable and cozy. So I'm definitely going to have to play with that when I renovate as well. But when I give him an office, the desk will be gone, and so it might make things a little bit easier, and then the bookshelf can go in there as well. But that is the build. I'm going to leave you guys here to enjoy the walkthrough and screenshots. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell notification, and definitely like this video. Make sure you check back next week because I am doing something special for Christmas. So both the cast video and the speed build should be a lot of fun. Anyway, have a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday. Bye.